and welcome to Comic Book Day. I'm Joe, and every week I am showing off what comics I bought and kind of using that to talk about comic books in general. So this week I bought The Shadow #1. This is a like modern day, kind of telling of this. It's bringing the Shadow into 2017 now. A lot of the Shadow comics take place in the past, pretty much, usually in the 30s, the 40s sometimes too. But yeah, this one is going to be modern day set, and he's going to deal with kind of some more modern day kind of issues and crimes. This issue deals with him going after and, well, he didn't prevent a school shooting, but he did kind of avenge the people who got killed and ended the school shooting. But I don't know, I didn't feel like it really had much to say about a school shooting that, a lot of other things hadn't already said. So maybe this will be kind of a good issue. This one wasn't, too super exciting, at least for seeing any way that they really, updated the Shadow. But I will check out the second issue, and hopefully that one will be a little better. This is Kill or Be Killed, issue 11, and this is a brand new story arc starting in this one, so that's exciting to see. I haven't read this issue yet, but I really want to see what's going to happen. The last issue set up kind of that maybe Dylan, the main character Dylan, okay, I should start back. The story is about this guy who sees this demon and tells him he's going to kill him if he doesn't go out and kill people for the demon. So now in the last issue, he kind of found out that the demon, as he sees him, is actually a drawing that his father had done. His father was like a sci-fi kind of artist. And yeah, it turns out that this demon actually is, a drawing that he had done. So maybe Dylan is actually way more insane than he thought he was already. And it might be all completely kind of made up in his head, it seems like. And so yeah, I don't know. I feel like this comic is starting to wind down, but I haven't heard anything that like this is the final story arc. So it probably has a little bit more to go. This is Captain America #25. They've combined the two different Captain America titles now, Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. And so now it's kind of, following both their stories. This was a really good issue because it kind of focused on, the parallels of, at the same time that you have the evil Captain America, Steve Rogers, giving this, speech about going to war. You have Sam Wilson, Captain America, doing a speech about how they need to, be hopeful and go fight up against Hydra. And then it also kind of combined with, I think it's the New Warriors. I haven't been reading that, or Secret Warriors, I think. But that has been about kind of this prison break at this Inhumans camp, which they went and helped. As it turned out, helped. They went to go try to break the Inhumans out, but then it turned out that, they were already being broken out, so Captain America and the Resistance just kind of helped, and then also ended up getting the last piece of the Cosmic Cube that they needed, which, that has been exciting so far, but they're setting up with the Cosmic Cube. I should talk a little more about that in Secret Empire, though. But this issue has been really good, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this kind of combined thing, while it lasts, at least. Let's take a look inside Captain America #25. I don't know. It's kind of a different style of art than, definitely than what, Steve Rogers Captain America had. And from what I've seen, the Sam Wilson Captain America is pretty different than this, too. And I don't know. I kind of feel like a lot of the heads are a little too round. I don't know if that really makes sense, but there's some parts of this where, I guess here is kind of a good instance of it. I feel like they're going for this kind of realistic look with, their heads, There's kind of Tony Stark's, and here's Hawkeye's. But I think that it kind of is not really a normal shape of head. But I think they are trying to, you know, make a normal kind of look, a realistic looking head. But I don't know, it doesn't really work that well, I feel like, in here. But one thing that was pretty good that I liked is this very first little panel that is about Tony Stark's birthday. And yeah, since he is just an AI and he can't actually blow out his candle, he just blasts it. And I thought that was a really funny opening to this. So yeah, I don't know what I totally think. I actually feel like some of this shows the weird shaped heads. But overall, I do like this art. You know, it's tolerable, certainly. It's good, definitely, too. It's just not necessarily my favorite kind of look. This is Secret Empire number 8. This deals a lot more with kind of the cosmic cube and, you know, what kind of powers it can do. And it's kind of been revealed that it has this very little residual energy all on its own. You know, the cosmic cube is broken into fragments right now, and each fragment kind of has their own little bit of power that can, you know, kind of help grant sort of little kind of minor wishes as it's described. But this issue was pretty exciting. They finally got to take down the shield that was around the Earth and was keeping out Captain Marvel and Alpha Flight and the Guardians of the Galaxy. And at the same time, they also managed to take down the Darkhold. I can't even remember what it's called actually right now. I'm not going to bother flipping through. I think it was called the Darkhold that's been around. It's this big shadow kind of dimension that's been engulfing Manhattan and has taken out a lot of the superheroes that way. So they got both those down, and now they're kind of ready to go after Steve Rogers. And so yeah, the next issues are going to be pretty exciting. I think there's only 2 left, if I saw right online the other day. This is Defenders number 4. This was a really good issue. This has been a good series entirely, but this one kind of stepped back a little bit in time and kind of showed a little bit of Diamondback's rise to power. Just kind of how he kind of came back onto like the main like drug scene. They didn't really focus on that too much, but I was glad that they kind of had a little bit, because a lot of this has been just like, I don't know, you don't know how any of it started. It basically just bam, now it's going on. Now they're going after Diamondback, and now he's, you know, going after them. So hopefully they're going to do a little bit more. I'm thinking they will kind of do some flashback type stuff. But then in this issue, it was a really awesome fight between Jessica Jones and Iron Fist and Diamondback. And finally they beat Diamondback, for now, at least. But it's set up kind of some things going forward. Diamondback at the end is in a prison transport with the Punisher. So that should be interesting. Either he's going to try to work with the Punisher, or the Punisher is probably going to try to go after him. And they also teased that like Elektra is going to pop up and become involved in the story somehow. So yeah, I'm excited to see more of this. Also, the Defenders TV show starts next week, so I'm really excited about that, and, you know, hopefully that'll end up being good. That might be why they're involving Elektra kind of in the next story, maybe. This is Mr. Miracle number 1. This is a new limited series. It will be like 12 issues, though, so for the next year it's going on. I don't really know a whole lot about Mr. Miracle. I mean, he's popped up in different Justice League comics, and in the Earth 2 comics, I think he was in there. But he's always, you know, kind of a funny character, and he's been kind of interesting. But mostly I saw, you know, previews of this in other comics, and I really liked the look of it. So hopefully this will end up being good, but I haven't read it yet. So here is some of the artwork from Mr. Miracle, and yeah, I really like the look of this. It's got this weird kind of pop art kind of, I feel like, kind of inspired. Really what it is that it's kind of almost like old comic book art where it's made up of the old, you know, there you can see where it's kind of made up of a bunch of little dots of color. This is even almost, it might be little smiley faces actually. If you look at it closely, it really looks like smiley faces. I don't know if that'll show up on camera at all. Yeah, I don't know. You can't really tell on the camera. But I also has, this actually reminds me a lot of Jock, who is an artist that I like a lot. I don't think he, you know, did a part of this, but I guess I'm not really sure. But yeah, I like just the general look of this. It's pretty much, you know, what kind of drew me to this. And yeah, I like some of this. It's got these really weird, kind of a lot of blurry stuff, a lot of weird kind of, I don't know, almost uncomfortable kind of looking stuff. You know, it's hard to read almost a little bit, but like purposely hard to read. So yeah, I'm excited to check this out. I like the look of it a lot, so hopefully it's as good as the artwork is. And this is The Flash, number 28. I haven't read this issue yet either, but I'm excited for it. The Flash in the last issue, well, I guess 2 issues back now, got kind of sucked into the reverse Speed Force, or the negative Speed Force that Reverse Flash draws his powers from. And so this is like affecting him somehow, and it's kind of turned him into not totally an evil Flash, but kind of like a monstrous, mean Flash. Maybe kind of like how the black Venom suit does to Spider-Man. But like I said, I haven't read this one, so I don't really know what's going to be going on or how he's going to be affected by it. Alright, that is it for this week. Thank you everyone for watching. Definitely everyone who did watch. Everyone who didn't watch, go watch. Make sure to go through and subscribe to the channel, leave a like button, and don't forget to leave a comment telling me what you think of any of these comics, and tell me any comics that you think that I should be reading. Just leave that down in the comments too, and see you next week.